Beautiful Atlanta, Georgia, the capital of Georgia, starts off the second half of the 2022 AVP season. It's the AVP Gold Series Atlanta Open. Hello and welcome inside. I'm Dane Bland alongside Cameron Irwin. We'll be bringing you all the action here this afternoon, and so good to be back in Atlanta.
Yes, it is. And we've got some big names here to start off the Gold Series. The second half is the home to all three of our Gold Series events, where everyone is fighting to get to the Phoenix Championships, which are in September. You're not going to want a chance to miss out on those. There's a lot on the line.
We are fired up and ready to go. Let's go down to the sand and hear our introductions from DJ Roche.
And here we go. Match number 2 on Stadium Court here at the Atlanta Open at Atlantic Station. This first player played indoor and beach volleyball at both UCLA and Cal Poly. San Luis Obispo from Napa, California. Back to the beach. Welcome Tori Van Winden. And her partner played beach volleyball at Grand Canyon University, and as a junior was named AVCA Beach Volleyball All-American from Naperville, Illinois. Put your hands together for Molly Turner. And on the other side of the net, she played indoor volleyball her freshman year at Georgetown University, where she led the team in kills and points. Then she decided she wanted to experience the Southern California lifestyle, so she went to USC, where she became a 3-time national champion on the beach, won her first AVP Pro Series earlier this year in Hermosa Beach, California. From Pittsford, New York, please put your hands together for Therese Cannon. This lovely young lady threw out the first pitch at the Braves game on Wednesday, and she threw from the mound. I heard it was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. She is a lover of country music. I won't hold that against her. Please put your hands together for the Olympian, Sarah Sponcil.
So we are all set to go. The #1 seed on tour, Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponcil, against the number 16 seed of Molly Turner and Tori Van Winden. This one should be interesting. Only 16 teams in the draw. That means every single match can be a nail biter right here. And Cannon and Sponcil will have their work cut out for them for sure. Should be a strong matchup, Cameron. Really looking forward to this, especially the battle at the net.
Yeah, without a doubt. You've got Tori Van Winden, who will be playing alongside Molly Turner, getting some experience, as Jessica Gaffney was supposed to be here in Atlanta alongside Molly Turner, however, came down with some COVID. So, of course, we're missing Jess Gaffney out here. But it's a great opportunity to see the return of Tori Van Winden. She's coming off a knee injury from back in Atlantic City a year ago. There's a great pickup from Sponcil. But so good to have Tori Van Winden back out on the sand. Did so much work, whether it was on the beach or in indoor volleyball, going through the collegiate ranks. But gotta love the journey she had from UCLA to Cal Poly, even to Florida State. She's been all over the game of volleyball.
There comes Van Winden right there from the left side with a heavy hit. Very physical player.
Yeah, without a doubt, an outside coming out to the beach now, and so she's gonna take some whacks, especially from that left side.
Molly Turner back to serve out of the middle of the court with a little jump float serve over to Therese Cannon. Therese Cannon with a nice sharp shot, and Therese Cannon, Sarah Sponcil, as Cameron mentioned earlier, winners in Hermosa Beach just a few weeks ago. And so surprising when Sarah Sponcil won, because she kind of did it out of order. Most people win on the AVP, then go international, get a win, then go to the Olympics. She won on the international tour, played in the Olympics, and then only got her first AVP victory this year. So a bit of a surprise, and she was very emotional with that win, as was Therese Cannon.
Yeah, without a doubt. Look at this incredible rally right there. And, you know, it's fun. I actually got a chance to catch up with Therese and Sarah talking about Hermosa, and they just said it was an absolute wild ride. They said they felt so much support around them, especially the locals who came out and loved that 24th Street where they train. They even said after that championship, they got back to 24th Street And all of the articles from their championship journey were taped up along the pole where they train. So a fun little tidbit coming from Hermosa Beach. Gotta love the fact that those two have been training so hard, and it pays off with their first title.
Here's Sponcil, jump float down the middle at Molly Turner. And that ball's going to be out of bounds. So another point as we'll take a 5-2 switch with Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponcil leading. And, you know, Therese Cannon has improved so much over the years. I got the opportunity to coach her at USC. She came from New York. She played at Georgetown indoor as a freshman and then switched her game to the beach, had the winning kill her junior year to win a national championship, and now on top of the AVP tour. Just her trajectory of improvement has been really superb.
And there's a great example of how she has continued to level up. I love the fact that she recognizes that tight set. Instead of maybe blocking a certain zone, she just goes up and takes ball away right there. Great job from Therese Cannon.
Therese Cannon, so physical. It's going to be a big battle at the net between Van Winden and Cannon. And so far, there's a nice funnel by Cannon and a put away. What a beautiful dig by Sponcil.
Yeah, I mean, and it's interesting. You mentioned the funnel play by Therese. That was beautifully done, taking away an area of the court and giving Sponcil an opportunity to get that ball up. But how about the body control of Cannon, too, to take those quick 2 steps off the net, nice transition play, and the option, forcing the defense to have to move very quickly. Quick start for those two.
Yeah, that's why they are the #1 seed. They've been playing so well, very controlled. Like you said, Therese Cannon funneling that ball. A lot of blockers, you know, get frustrated at times if they're not getting blocked. It takes a really smart blocker to understand that soft blocks, funneling the block to your defender are all the same. They all translate to points.
Yeah, without a doubt. And these two just continue to train and train hard to be able to put plays like that together. They're actually coming off of Fort Lauderdale just a week ago, where maybe they didn't have the finish that they were hoping for, coming us off, especially the win in Hermosa. And I asked them, what were you guys doing between Fort Lauderdale and now? And they said, well, actually, we flew straight here. We wanted to get some time out on the sand. So they've actually been prepping a little bit, practicing over at GCU. A little quick turnaround, get some games and some opportunities to get back out on the sand.
Back on Stadium Court, Sponcil Cannon up 7-2 after the timeout. And there's a nice put away to the corner for Tori Van Winden. Quite a journeywoman, I guess you would call her, starting her career at UCLA, then headed to Cal Poly. And for her master's, she ended up at Florida State. So a lot of different schools for Tori Van Winden. So fun, Cameron, to see kind of the movement happen. Every one of these players out on the court came up through the college ranks, came up since that NCAA took over and certified beach volleyball at the college ranks, and it's made the sport better, and you're getting earlier coaching in your career, and it's translating. All these girls, they're all under 26 years of age. It's the future.
Future on the sand here in Atlanta. Makes you think back just to a year ago, the defending champions, Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss. We just saw them out on the sand. Their first tournament together. I said, happy AVP anniversary to those two. They said, that's right. It has been a year, hasn't it? A lot has happened since then, including some partner changes, one of which you're seeing with Therese Cannon, now partnered alongside Sarah Sponcil.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that that was a year ago, and Cloth and Nuss really took the pro circuit by storm, you know, coming out of LSU with an undefeated season and then winning their first event here as Molly Turner burns it down the middle.
Yeah, we got to make sure we give a very big congrats to Miss Molly Turner, newly engaged to James Shaw. She said she hiked up a mountain, came back with a ring and a fiance.
Taking a look at the champions so far, Cloth and Nuss winning in Austin. Then it was Chang and Flint in New Orleans. And we mentioned Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponcil in Hermosa. And then just a week ago, Tina Gradina and Haley Harward, the #1 pair on the 2022 collegiate circuit, took their game to the top of the AVP in excruciating heat. Very similar conditions here, Cameron, as there were last week in Fort Lauderdale. About 89 degrees, feels like 97 right now, and the humidity 60 plus. So important for the athletes to not only prepare but to pace themselves.
Yeah, and you make a great point, and it was interesting too. You think back to last week in Fort Lauderdale, and the one thought in my head was, ooh, attrition, right? The fact that they're going from 3 days of grueling heat, then next thing you know, you're here in Atlanta, same thing. You're going to be playing in some high humidity and high temperatures. So these athletes, in terms of recovery, was pretty important. A lot of them had to take a few days off and just let their bodies get reset. Some of them getting back on the sand, it kind of depended on where you were at after Fort Lauderdale.
This third event here concludes 3 weeks on the East Coast for the AVP. There was a tour series event a few weeks ago in Atlantic City. Then last week, of course, the Pro Series in Fort Lauderdale. And now the Gold Series as Sponcil burns it down the middle. Nice jump float. A bit mesmerizing for Molly Turner and Van Winden. A little communication problem right here. Sponcil goes short on this one, basically setting up her partner, Therese Cannon, to crush it.
Yeah, it's a little roommate-on-roommate crime there. Sarah Sponcil actually shares a place, a home, with none other than Tori Van Winden from time to time. Splits time in Santa Barbara as well, where she's been rehabbing that knee injury. Nice swing, but just wide, alongside her cousin, Katie Spieler, and also professional beach volleyball player.
It's a small world, that's for sure. Last week we had Haley Harward playing against Julia Scholes, their roommates as well, and so
Number
14-7, Cannon and Sponcil in complete control here over Van Winden and Turner. Already in this one, we have the TNS dig of the day. It's coming from Sarah Sponcil. Look at this roll shot by Van Winden. Good against 99% of the players, but not Sponcil. She gets that one up, rolls it over the block, and that's what makes Sarah Sponcil so special, is her ability to convert the beautiful dig into an offensive point.
Man, so fun to watch those two, the defensive pairing, right? So that dig doesn't happen without a great setup and block formation from Therese Cannon to allow Sponcil to have that read and shift that direction towards the tendency. And then the execution, right? That's the second tier of that play. Not only is Sponcil there with a solid read, but airborne with a beautiful contact and turn play.
You know, I think what we keep alluding to is that Sponcil and Therese Cannon have great chemistry out there. They know where each other are at all times. They're funneling. They're just doing a fantastic job. And it's fun to see. It's like poetry in motion when two players get together and they click, as Sponcil and Therese have.
That's a beautiful dig from Turner. Love that dig and transition from Molly Turner right there, sitting in the pocket. And I love that in transitions, she's still able to bring the heat. 3 digs now for Turner.
Right side, Sponcil viewing the court, seeing the open spot and executing there. 15-8 here on Stadium Court. We're at Atlantic Station here in Atlanta for the first Gold Series event. Beautiful dig by Sponcil. Must have been touched by Therese Cannon, and she goes over and hits just the outside of the line. Wow.
I think that one should be worth 2. She hit that standing down ball style and still finds the sand.
I love that. She didn't try to do too much, right? Some players would jump, try to do a crazy, maybe winner cross court. She just stayed composed, rolled it in, and that's having confidence in your defense. Van Winden over the block of Cannon down the line, but the damage has been done.
It has, but I do like the adjustment there from Tori Van Winden. Her tendency is going to be, I want to swing hard angle, get some high sets, and take a rip, which Sarah Sponcil had dug the previous play as she pairs it off with a beautiful ace. That last play, though, I want to go back to because she changed her offensive scheme. She comes out of the middle, goes with a shot back towards the line, kind of giving a different look in terms of what she's bringing to the table.
Van Winden goes to Sponcil. And Sponcil has been really working that cut shot. Great vision, such an accurate shooter, but she also has the power as well. And let's not forget, she's a two-time national champion out of UCLA. You know, started her career at Loyola Marymount, transferred over and played both indoor and beach at UCLA and had just a stellar career. That ball out of bounds.
And there's that heavy angle rip.
18-10, Cannon and Sponcil set number 1 here as we take a look at the AVP schedule. We've taken Atlantic City out. We've added Orlando, so the season will go deep into December. You see that at the bottom. That is newly added, so start making your plans. We just got an extended season.
It's an early Christmas present.
Right?
Or will you be December 2nd through the 4th? On the beach, why not?
It's a good time to go, you know. It's cooled down a little bit. That's going to be exciting.
How about that set?
Beautiful from the back line, and Sarah Sponcil, something special. She's not afraid to set the ball from any place on the court.
No, and this about probably 15, 20 feet off the net. She even takes that. What's remarkable, she has it right in the center of her body and then it ends up on her left shoulder, and she's still able to deliver a cross-body ball. As does Molly Turner, the exact same thing on the other side. The cross-body swing down the line from Tori Van Winden. Looking like a indoor player taking a swing. Look at this.
Was nice. She kicked out on the left side, kept the ball in a great spot. Trying to chip away. Therese Cannon. Molly Turner has it up, and Van Winden can't run that one down, so make it 20-12 for Cannon and Sponcil. It will be set point number 1.
Set point number 1, Sarah Sponcil at the serve.
Sarah Sponcil tries to get a little trickler short ball. That one into the net, so that'll give Turner and Van Winden their 13th point. Molly Turner out of GCU serving it up here. Set point number 2 for Cannon and Sponcil. And there it is, a little roll shot, making it look easy right there. Cannon and Sponcil with a 21-13 runaway right there. Didn't expect that right there. We'll see if Turner and Van Winden can turn this thing around in set number 2, maybe force a third. We'll be right back.
could vibe and find our rhythm. You and I, the sky, the moon, and the light was just a ride. Share a little love, share a little love. Learn to respect one another. We could find a way to make another day brighter now that we got each other.
Dear Mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear lots of you have discovered a real Hawaiian favorite, Big Wave Golden Ale. That's the good kind of stuff, yeah, bro. Maybe it's the island flavor that makes each sip taste like a little vacation.
Got your beers here.
That's a whole lot of little vacations right there, huh, brother? That's like a big vacation. Retirement. One life, right? Mahalo. Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
Welcome back to Atlantic Station here in Atlanta, Georgia, home of the first AVP Gold Series event of the 2022 season. As we take a look at the stats here between Cannon and Sponcil versus Turner and Van Winden. 21-13 the first score. And Cameron, how about that hitting percentage? 700 plus for Sponcil and Cannon.
Yeah, and you gotta love that that's coming off of great passing and great setting as well. So look for Van Winden and Molly Turner to kind of level things up here from the service line. Can they add some more pressure and find a few different ways to turn up the dial? There's a look at the numbers for Molly Turner thus far. 16 total jumps. You can even see how high she's getting off the sand. It's gonna be interesting. Pay attention to those numbers throughout the weekend as there's another good ball from Cannon. Because I have a feeling throughout the weekend, those numbers might shift and change, right? You're playing in heat, you're playing in humidity. How might those highest jumps start to either level off, go down, go up, see whose conditioning's at peak performance?
What I like to watch is tracking the distance. A beautiful step by Sponcil, just making it look easy. A little jump fake right there, getting the blocker to bite. But the distance between the blocker and the defender, because sometimes full-time blockers have to run much longer distances because they're running into the net every time after they serve, similar to what Therese Cannon's doing right here.
It's a great call by you. It's so fun to watch how far these athletes are traveling around the sand. Oh my goodness, what a swing from Tori Van Winden. Watch out, when she is pushed out to the antenna on the left side, she is deadly with that cross-body arm swing back towards the line. That's the second solid rip we've seen her do.
Tori Van Winden out of Napa, California, and always has been known as a very physical player. Little rainbow shot, not fooling Sponcil. That's set a little bit tight, but the pokey shot over Van Winden and to the corner. Cameron, what do Van Winden and Turner have to do to turn this thing around? What did you see in that first set that made it so lopsided?
Well, I think it's about finding a little bit of an offensive rhythm, right? And that's going to help as she finds the back corner. But I also think you've got to try and get Cannon and Sponcil out of system. They are passing and setting exceptionally well. You mentioned the offensive efficiency from those two. So I think you got to take some chances from this service line. Also, how much time have you spent on the sand together? We talked about how Molly Turner's been playing alongside Jessica Gaffney. So figuring out a little bit more their style of play and how they want to approach teams and what they look like as a partnership on the sand. They're going to figure those things out real time right now.
Yeah, it's kind of the honeymoon period for them, and sometimes that can really benefit you because other teams haven't seen what kind of look you're going to give. So that's what you got to really take advantage of.
Yeah, and I think you also have to pay attention to who's on the other side of the net in terms of the ball coming back up. You have one of the premier defenders, not just in the United States, but also in the world, in Sarah Sponcil, knowing that you might have to take 2 or 3 shots to get the ball down. You're going to have to grind out some points right now.
Great start here in set number 2 for Turner and Van Winden. 5-3 lead. They're down a set. Here's Van Winden. Jump float out of the middle. It seems like everyone out there wants to serve a jump float out of the middle of the court. What are the advantages of that?
No, it's a great call by you as you take a look at some of the numbers for Van Winden and Turner. But I think that jump float, there's a lot of deception that comes from that. As there's another nice touch from Sarah Sponcil, but it's the shortest distance, right? You're going line to line, you're causing the miscommunication from both of the opposing players on the other side of the net. I think you can also find those short angles to the sidelines as well. So in terms of deception, you also see the jump serve come out of there with the aggressive jump topspin serve.
Yeah, whenever it comes to mind, serving out of the middle, the traditional topspin serve, it reminds me of what Phil likes to do.
And April Ross used to do as well.
Yeah, just bombing it down the middle or to those two sidelines. And I guess what you're saying, it's the, you know, the quickest distance to get it there. And so much has changed over the years in terms of strategy. We're seeing jump sets, we're seeing tempo, we're seeing serve position, just all to become a better player and to really be more efficient when you're on the court.
Yeah, without a doubt.
5-7 Turner and Van Winden. Dane Blanton alongside Cameron Irwin. This is our first match of the day, but there are 7 matches left in this Friday, so get your snacks, get settled in. It's going to be a long day, and especially for these athletes. The heat has been turned up as expected here in Atlanta in August, and very important to hydrate and to keep on top of your game. Another big physical hit by Van Winden. Last week in the finals, we saw Julia Scholes. She had some digestion problems, let's call it, throwing up in the rest area. The heat can get to you. What are the biggest keys to stay ahead of it?
Well, and I think, one, hydration, especially the fact that they came off of the Fort Lauderdale event and then you've got 5 days to recover. I think also it comes down to your training, right? Preseason, into season, where are you at? How many events have you been playing? Have you been taking care of yourself in terms of rehabbing as well? So I think it all comes back to that preseason conditioning, getting ready to go, because that's where a lot of this is going to come to the head. There's some more numbers. Therese Cannon now up to 50 jumps. You can see the distance she's now traveled. 2,851 feet. Apparently she just took a step in the last 2 seconds.
Great jump float serve, but on 2 is Van Winden, so give Molly Turner a lot of credit right there. Tough serve going at her, and also teeing up her partner for the option.
Yeah, I love watching Molly Turner play beach volleyball. Plus, she's just got a great story out of Grand Canyon University, originally out of Illinois. She's just 5'8", but she has grinded through her professional career, and she just continues to elevate her game. She's a 2-time All-American out of Grand Canyon University.
Wow, Sponcil on the right, showing a little heat. You know, she's got the heat, but she prefers to be more of the surgeon and execute those shots.
So you talk about being a surgeon. It's interesting because I'm liking what I'm seeing from Sponcil. It seems like she's starting to take different tempos of when she's choosing to actually strike the ball. I saw a cut shot from her earlier as Therese Cannon picks up that ball on 2. Oh! The slide cutty.
That was impressive on so many fronts. The set from Sponcil and then the positioning by Therese Cannon.
How did she even do this with her footwork? Left foot from one sideline to the other. Therese Cannon. Dialed.
That was pretty incredible. That was fun to watch. Here's Van Winden off the top of the fingertips of Therese Cannon, and it's 10-9, Turner and Van Winden.
Van Winden continuing to challenge the block now, going a little bit high hands there. And even if she's shifting more of her attacks towards that middle zone, we've seen a lot from the exterior of the court, but even out of the middle, you do have to watch out for her to attack back towards that right sideline. We've seen her crossbody swing, so she definitely has that in her arsenal. Yeah, it's gonna get called.
Double contact by Therese Cannon. You know, earlier, Molly Turner had pretty much lobbied, it seemed, a back set she didn't like too much, went up to the referee and kind of put a bug in her here to look out for the double contact. That one, the referee took their time, they saw the set, they saw that they weren't happy with it, and blew the whistle for double contact. Cover here, and Van Winden just out of bounds, so a little quick back and forth right there, but can't control that one.
Well, that's a bummer. She had a good beat on it too, well prepared in terms of the back-to-back plays from Tori Van Winden, but gotta love the energy seeing from those two into the technical timeout. A little bit of an adjustment. You know what I like more than anything is their aggressive play. Now, we always talk about aggressive play, but what does that look like? Where is it showing up? Not only is it service pressure and whatnot, but also more so they're attacking, right? Whether the block's in front of them or they've got Sarah Sponcil sitting in the pocket, Tori Van Winden's doing a really nice job attacking different zones on the court, where she's approaching from, and also kind of some different tempos and different looks in terms of her arm swing. I think Molly Turner's given her a lot of opportunities to do that as well, getting her in system.
Yeah, I like Molly Turner's setting, and I like what Tori Van Winden is doing in terms of her physicality, no question about it. And at 6'3", that's what she has to do.
Yeah, without a doubt. But take a look at the number on the screen right now. I think that's really important. 12-0 for Cannon and Sponcil when winning the first set this season. You see their match record as well. So there's a good shot right now for Turner and Van Winden to maybe turn some of that tide. Could that 12-0 all of a sudden become 12-1? We'll have to take a look into this second game now. But those two have been very strong when they start strong.
Yeah, and I think if you look at every team's numbers are going to be really weighted in that direction, but to be completely undefeated when winning that first set just goes to show you how important it is, how you kind of get into a comfort zone, whereas if you lose that first set, a lot more pressure.
And now you can start to see things start to level out here in terms of the stats into set number 2, 667, 769 in terms of efficiencies. Diggs nearly knotted up, but the service errors also on the board. And that, you can see if they're having those errors, that means they're getting more aggressive from that service line as well.
Coming out of the technical timeout here, nice touch by Cannon. Sponcil free ball it over, and then a poke shot by Van Winden. And to go back to what you were talking about, Van Winden, she's getting herself in great position to succeed.
Without a doubt, even on a little bit of an off play here, right? Goes up, sees it on the option, recognizes the block in front of her, but she's doing the footwork, right? Gets off the net, recognizing and trusting her partner that she's gonna toss the ball up there for her.
Van Winden, serve and run to the net. She's gonna try to seal it up against Therese Cannon, but she gets it, Therese does, over and down the line, just hitting that back line. You know, we were talking before this match started about the heat, how important that's going to be. 16 teams in this draw over 3 days. To go back to memory lane, I remember playing 32 team draws in 2 days, right?
All I can think of is Dane Blanton must have been in really good shape.
Well, it was, I mean, it was tough. Sometimes you could theoretically could play almost 5 matches in a day.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And it's definitely a little more comfortable now, but still, if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't stay on top of it, beautiful cut shot right there. You're impressed.
Yeah, I am impressed because I love that from Therese Cannon. Not only did she add a little bit of pace to it, because she had the angle, but also the ball on hand was really impressive. Her actual contact, she was cutting that around that ball. There was some side spin on there to create even more of an angle. It was really pretty.
Yeah, love seeing that when players have a full command of the ball. Sponcil, a rare opportunity where a dig goes over the net and making a third dig. And Therese is going to come to the net and try to stop Van Winden. What a set for Van Winden, but Turner not ready for it. Maybe it was too good. It faked out her partner.
Maybe, but the only thing that's sticking out to me in that rally is the motor on Sarah Sponcil. Ball after ball, contacted off the block, it doesn't matter. Sarah Sponcil stays so tough in this Sky Vodka rally of the day. Watch how she just patrols again and again, opportunity after opportunity for her partner as she chases that ball back down. And another play there, filling the void is Sarah Sponcil with a finisher as well.
Love that never say die attitude that Sponcil has. Here's another one. She's gonna throw it up to the net, give Therese a chance. Not yet, and Van Winden tries to rip it through Sponcil, but that's not a good idea. She absorbs the contact and then makes her pay.
The thing that's sticking out to me right now to continue the thread is the defensive play from both Cannon and Sponcil. We're getting a lot of great contacts up at the net from Therese Cannon. She's giving Sponcil an opportunity to chase down extra balls. Right now they're transitioning very well.
Van Winden not wide enough, I believe, on that approach, or maybe the set a little too wide, because we've been talking about Van Winden's footwork. She's really worked hard to position herself. That time was a challenge.
Now they're going to take a timeout here as well on the 15-13 switch, and I think that's the right cue. They're starting to get a little bit more rhythm on the side of Cannon and Sponcil into set number 2, so you got to try and slow that in one way or another.
Cameron, let's talk a little bit about the Gold Series. This is the first Gold Series event. The next one will be in Manhattan Beach in a couple of weeks. And then
the Granddaddy.
There you go. And then on Labor Day will be in Chicago. So those are the 3 Gold Series. 2 out of your best 3 will qualify you. Only 6 teams make it. 6 teams make it to the AVP Championships in Phoenix, and that is in late September. So it'll be interesting who makes it into that specialty event. But these Gold Series events, more money, $300,000 total prize money, and more points.
Yeah, and it's so fun as you take a look at some of the stats here for both Tori Van Winden and Molly Turner in terms of distance and some of the moves they're making. You see the verticals as well out on the sand, but I think it's so fun because when I was talking to all the athletes at the beginning of the season, we went through some interviews and I asked them, you know, what are some of the things you're looking forward to, right? We've got 16 total tournaments on the 2022 schedule. And they all talked about the Phoenix Championships. They said it's so fun that we have something that we're all fighting to get into. And they said those Gold Series events, yeah, we've had those since, I believe, 2017. It's extra money, it's extra prestige, all of the above. But now that it's fighting to get into those Phoenix Championships, it's that extra little edge. Who's going to be up on the top of the podium at the end of the season to get to those Phoenix Championships?
Coming out of the timeout, Sponcil still doing her thing with the defense, and Van Winden snaps that ball, challenging Therese Cannon.
She just Steph Curry'd it. She smacked that ball before it landed. She bounced her feet on the ground and turned around to the edge. She knew that ball was going down. I love that.
A little extra pep in her step from Van Winden, but they are definitely going to have to turn it up here. Down a set and down a point here in set number 2 against the number 1 seed, Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponcil, who were winners, first-time winners on the AVP Tour a few weeks ago in Hermosa Beach. Here comes Cannon. Nice roll shot down the line, but it's out, a couple inches long.
And that's something that should go in the scouting report of Therese Cannon. I know it barely just missed, but she has been pretty phenomenal. She has this high flat ball to the end line that's really nice to go over some of those blocks. She's been lasered in, kind of finding that back line. Oh, what a snag from Molly Turner.
Molly Turner with some spectacular defense there. Van Winden's gonna have to keep that ball in right there.
Yeah, and this is where you're at the end of a match, right? You're getting close to that conclusion of set number 2. Watch the transition here. As the block comes off, she takes a step, but not as much in terms of her oomph getting off the sand on that option play.
And then Van Winden deciding to let that close one go, and it ends up in, so a crucial point right there for Sarah Sponcil, giving them a 2-point edge. Sponcil out of Phoenix, Arizona.
I like that. Again, mentally tough, Tori Van Winden right there. Back-to-back errors, and then all of a sudden she sees the ball yet again, and she comes real tough. Here's a look at the ace. That was the second play on Tori Van Winden. But I like that she comes out aggressive with the swing from that.
Therese Cannon, so hard to deal with. You know, you mentioned it, Cameron, when a big block like Therese Cannon, once she starts to focus on precision shots, that's when tall players get very dangerous, because you already know they have the physicality, and when they add that finesse, as we saw that crazy cut shot earlier in this one, they're extremely dangerous.
Yeah, I always think about the evolution of Alex Kleinman, right? The Olympic gold medalist. There's another great swing. She had the physicality coming out on the sand. She had the height. She had all those big-time elements to her game. And then it was so fun to watch her develop over the years in terms of including some shots in those really tough angles, and her contact on the ball, again, just continuing to evolve. So fun to see these big-time athletes adding some finesse to their game.
18-17, Cannon and Sponcil leading a set, leading by a point here in set number 2. Nice roll shot, really making it look easy right now.
Yeah, but that set was not easy. Sarah Sponcil goes chest to the net. She's kind of getting a little bit handcuffed, right? That ball maybe a tiny bit too tight for her, but she does a beautiful job laying that up for Therese Cannon. 13 digs now for Sponcil.
Here comes Turner with a very deceptive shot. Shoulders facing cross court, goes high over the line.
Great contact from Molly Turner. They need one here.
18 serving 19. First round here at Atlantic Station for the Gold Series here in Atlanta, and just like that, Cannon and Sponcil are at match point, 20-18.
That ball goes down though because of the wrist of Therese Cannon. I thought Molly Turner was in a good location, but that extra angle was something from Cannon.
Choose to go to Van Winden. Nice control by Cannon, and trying to put it down for the match. She's going to have a second opportunity here. Beautiful set by Sponcil. Turner all over it. And a rainbow shot to the corner by Turner. Great play, great defense, great agility and movement.
Yeah, you know what my favorite play throughout that rally is the recognition from Molly Turner. She saw the tight set, and as a defender, she made a really nice adjustment where she was just able to walk right into that ball, seeing and trusting her block was going to force that ball high up and into the deep position of the court. Really nice read by Molly Turner there, hitting 500.
Winner of this match will face the winner of Emily Day and Savvy Simo, and Lauren Fendrick and Haley Harward. They're battling out on court 1. Here's another match point for Cannon and Sponcil. And there it is, with authority, cross court, Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponcil. Really never were scared in this one. Very controlled, really came out strong for their first round.
Yeah, and I think control is a really good word to use with those two. Even though they were definitely pressured more into set number 2, you think back to about that 14, 15-point mark, and we started recognizing those defensive plays turning towards their direction. I think that timeout was taken at 15-13, and it was after 2 phenomenal defensive plays on their side where they were able to turn points, and I think ultimately that's what leveled it out. Also, finishing off on the quick side out, first contact and first shot, that's speaking volumes for them as they move through this tournament.
Yeah, well, you mentioned something very important, that second year. When you get to about 15, able to push through. All the great teams have had that ability, and today, Cannon and Sponcil showed that they could switch into that gear as well, and they wrapped this one in 2 straight sets. So the winners in Hermosa a few weeks ago, Cannon and Sponcil, trying to get their second AVP championship, and they would love to do it here in Atlanta at Atlantic Station, hosting the first Gold Series event on the 2022 season.
Yeah, and it's so fun to see what they put together in this one. And you're watching some highlights back. But one of the other things that we would be remiss not to mention is Therese Cannon, whether it was that fantastic shot from sideline to sideline, but also maybe she wasn't getting big-time stuff blocks. But how many control blocks did she have that gave them an opportunity? There were so many Sponcil was able to run down just because of that nice touch block from Therese Cannon. So a phenomenal job from the #1 seed.
And there's a look at Team Sponcil, and across the way, coming up a little short, Van Winden and Turner, but a great team. We'll be looking forward to seeing more of them.
Yeah, you gotta love what you're seeing from those two. I like the way they came out in set #2, playing a little bit more of a physical style of game, especially Tori Van Winden staying so aggressive in terms of her attack, and not to mention, I mean, Molly Turner made some really solid reads defensively as well.
Well, there you have it from Stadium Court. The #1 seed, Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponcil, victorious over Van Winden and Turner. They're moving on.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for Rich Van Born. He's an Olympic gold medalist.